Hello and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog Fantasy Pick and Plays for Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up promo code DailyDog, DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or on the Underdog Fantasy app. Again, if you are new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up promo code DailyDog, DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or the Underdog Fantasy app. All right, this is day 2 of getting back to the new new schedule, whatever you want to say, the overnight schedule. Putting these things out early so you have more time to get the entries in. Hopefully you were able to tail yesterday. We got 2 MLB entries home yesterday, a 3X and a 3.4X. Byron Buxton, total bases, no problem. Kerry Carpenter, no total bases. Not a problem at all. He hit 3 home runs. So, he covered 1.5 total bases pretty easily. Luis Ariz, higher than 1.5 total bases, hit a double. Love that. Jesus Sanchez, higher than 1.5 total bases. He hit a double and a single, and I think another single. So, good for Jesus Sanchez yesterday. Dong squad, we had 2 Dong squads. They both went 1 out of 3, which is unfortunate because we went 2 out of 6 basically with our overall home run picks. Kerry Carpenter, obviously, that one worked out. And Lawrence Butler, that one worked out. So, that was nice, but I wish I would have taken a little bit more of I wish those guys would have been on the same entry, I should say there. By the way, we're going to get in on the extender later this week. That's a promo running on Underdog. You get a bonus that increases day by day once you enter it. So you would use a 40% boost on game 1, and if you use $5 or more on that NBA entry, you get a 50% boost, and it goes like 60, 70, 80% boost. I think it actually ends with 100% boost. I forget exactly right now how deep it goes. Maybe it's not 100%. I don't exactly. Yeah, no, it is 100%. If it gets to a game, if it gets to game 7, you get 100% boost, which means you're basically doubling your profits there. So that is definitely worth the squeeze. But let's talk about the entries we got going today in Major League Baseball. Going to start out with our guy, Manny. No, that was yesterday. I'm going to go to today's script. Today, we're going to go with Zach Neto, higher than 1.5 total bases. Zach Neto was obviously an awesome player. I was talking to some friends about this. I think that Zach Neto is so underrated. It's insane. He is one of the guys that, not one of those. He's just a guy that is not really, he doesn't get much hype because he's on the Angels, and the Angels are terrible. And there's a guy on that team named Mike Trout, who I jokingly call Mike Fraud, who everyone wants to talk about. But Zach Neto is an awesome leadoff batter, a good shortstop, but power, speed, contact, everything you want. And he's still a young player. This guy is a high draft pick who's still developing. So I'm going to be riding Zach Neto again here, higher than 1.5 total bases against Brian Bayo, and the Red Sox. And then I'm going to go back with Byron Buxton against the Athletics in another good weather game for hitting, is what we're expecting later this evening. And we're also going to get, he gets to face against the pitchers for the Athletics and their bullpen, which is always a beautiful time. So give me Byron Buxton higher than 8.5 fantasy points with Zach Neto higher than 1.5 total bases. That's a 3.3x multiplier. MLB entry number 2, we're going to keep on going with the hot hand. We're going to go with Kerry Carpenter higher than 1.5 total bases. Probably not going to hit 3 home runs in back-to-back games. That'd be pretty cool if he did, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to struggle, though, to get on base and get hits against the White Sox starters and the White Sox pen once again. Again, it didn't matter who they put out there. Kerry Carpenter was finding a way to get the ball over the fence. We don't need it over the fence. We just need a double or more. And this is against Shane Smith is the starter here. So righty versus lefty matchup. We love to see that with Kerry Carpenter. Again, he's not going to have the same game he did yesterday, but I don't think that's going to matter. I think that he's going to be just fine in here. Higher than 1.5 total bases, Kerry Carpenter. And then a man who's had a day off, we're going to go with Kyle Tucker and the Cubs. Kyle Tucker of the Cubs, higher than 1.5 total bases. I'm obviously a Tucker fan. I thought that it was crazy that he was able to get out of Houston. They let him go. They didn't want to pay him for whatever reason. He's obviously playing well for the Cubs here. They're going to play against the Nationals. It's going to be 80-plus degrees up in D.C. Against Trevor Williams. I think he's going to be just fine in that matchup. So give me Kyle Tucker higher than 1.5 total bases with Kerry Carpenter higher than 1.5 total bases, 3.42x multiplier. MLB entry number 3, we're going to go with Fernando Tatis, higher than 1.5 total bases, one of the later night games in San Francisco against Logan Roop and this Giants team. Tatis, I think, had 1 hit yesterday. I think that he's going to pick that up. Logan Webb pitched very well against this Giants team. Kind of crazy considering the fact that They had hit him extremely well. Last year, this team raked against him, and Logan Webb showed up and threw a shutout, except they still lost. They lost 1-0 in the 10th inning. So terrible times if you are a Giants backer or if you were Logan Webb, because he pitched an absolute gem. At least results-wise, he didn't let any runs through, which is what you're looking to do out there. But I think Tatis is going to do fine against Logan Webb or Logan Roop. So give me Fernando Tatis higher than 1.5 total bases. Then I'm going to go with my man Lawrence Butler higher than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs against Pablo Lopez and the Twins. Lopez is a very good pitcher. But man, Lawrence Butler, he's starting to warm up a little bit back at the top of the lineup. I think that Lawrence Butler is an absolute threat to hit home runs, obviously, and get on base and score runs and drive guys in. So give me Lawrence Butler as he starts to hit up. So Tatis higher than 1.5 total bases, Butler higher than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs, 3.21x multiplier, another bonus multiplier there. MLB entry number 4, we're going to go with Aaron Judge higher than 1.5 total bases. He's had a day off. They just had that series against LA. Now they're back home against the Guardians and Tanner Bybee. I don't think Tanner Bybee is a scary pitcher at all. I think that our guy Judge is going to do just fine. Higher than 1.5 total bases. As we know, he's a contact hitter now. He also has the power. So we have lots of ways of getting this thing over 1.5 total bases. And then I'm going to go with Bobby Witt Jr. higher than 1.5 total bases against Andre Palante and the St. Louis Cardinals. Witt is obviously one of the best hitters in the league for contact, and also it's going to be a very nice weather game for the ball to sail. So he could get a home run in this game for sure, but long doubles, and obviously he's got the speed. He turns other guys' singles into doubles. So it's always nice to have one total bases, especially when you're in a flat multiplier with Bobby Witt. Aaron Judge higher than 1.5 total bases, Bobby Witt higher than 1.5 total bases, 3x multiplier. All right, let's get into some of these pitcher matchups. We're going to go with Freddy Peralta, Hunter Greene, lower than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. Yesterday, the Reds did get 2 runs in the first inning. That's the only runs they scored in the whole game. They lost 3-2 against the Brewers. I don't think they're going to score on Freddy Peralta, though. Freddy, obviously, very, very good pitcher. Hunter Greene, a young star in this league, potentially for pitching. If he can stay healthy and if he can get 5+ innings to start, which has been a little bit of a struggle lately. But we don't need 5 innings. We need 1 inning. So Freddy Peralta, Hunter Greene, lower than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. Then I'm going to go with Tomoyuki, Sugano, and George Kirby, lower than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. This has much more to do with the offenses than the pitchers. Obviously, there's power in both these lineups, but again, they have just been so inconsistent. A lot of strikeouts. We just need 6 outs here. Sugano has been fine. He's developing. I think he's getting better over the course of the year. He's not Yoshinobu Yamamoto quite yet. I don't know if he ever will be, but 3.23 ERA, and he's had to work to get that thing down to 3.23. He had some bad starts last game. He did allow 3 earned. Prior to that, only allowed 2. And basically, in 3 of his last 5 starts, he's allowed 2 or less runs. So I like where Sugano's heading. George Kirby, again, it's been a terrible, terrible start for George Kirby this year. He's allowed 11 runs in 8.2 innings pitched so far this season. But this Orioles offense, man, they're pretty bad. So give me Kirby to get his final good first inning, or finally have a good start here. I don't even know if it's going to be a good start. We just need 3 outs, my man. 2.58x multiplier on that one. Pitchers entry number 2, Tyler Mahle plus Drew Rasmussen, lower than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. Tyler Mahle's obviously had an excellent year. Drew Rasmussen is kind of a, he's a fine pitcher. I'm not gonna, put him in Cooperstown or anything anytime soon. But I definitely do think that they will be able to get out of this first inning. So lower than 0.5 first inning runs allowed there. Sorry, I'm just laughing. My cat is trying to steal my water. And then I'm going to go with Michael Lawrence and Andre Palante, higher than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. You heard me talk about the weather in St. Louis. It's going to be hitter friendly. I think that there's going to be a dong in the first inning in that game. Not sure who's going to do it, but that's a 3x multiplier with Mahle, Rasmussen, no first inning runs. Lawrence and Palante, yes, a first inning run allowed. Lotto entry number 1. I got 2 Lotto entries today. Jesus Sanchez higher than 2.5 total bases. The guy's hot. I'm not going to fade him. Shane Smith higher than 3.5 earned runs allowed against this Tigers potent offense. Luis Arraez higher than 2.5 total bases. Again, a double and a single. That's what we need here. 26.43x if it goes 3 for 3. I recommend flexing at 13.21x if it goes 3 out of 3. 2.99x if it goes 2 out of 3 on the flex. Lotto entry number 2. We're going to go with Bowden Francis higher than 2.5 earned runs allowed. Carlos Rodon, higher than 2.5 earned runs allowed. Ellie De La Cruz, higher than 0.5 stolen bases, 12.2x. If it goes 3 for 3, flex it 6.1x or 1.8x if it goes 2 out of 3. That is how you make money on those flexes on the longer shots. Dong squad. I got 2 Dong squads. I got a lot today. I had a lot of NBA, a lot of games, so I got a lot, or MLB, so I got a lot of stuff going on. Wilson Contreras, higher than 0.5 home runs. Pete Crow Armstrong, higher than 0.5 home runs. Jesus Sanchez, higher than 0.5 home runs. 91.24x or 45.62x/6.52x if it goes 2 out of 3. Dong squad number 2, we're going to go with Brent Rooker, higher than 0.5 home runs. Rafael Devers, higher than 0.5 home runs. Shohei Ohtani, higher than 0.5 home runs. 67.66x or 33.83x/7.88x if it goes 2 out of 3. NHL entry number 1, we're going to put one in early for this Wednesday game. Leon Draisaitl, higher than 0.5 goals. Sam Reinhart, higher than 0.5 shots, or higher than 2.5 shots on goal, 3.33x. NBA series, I put it in yesterday. Pascal Siakam, higher than 19.5 points per game. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, lower than 33.5 points per game. All right, that's all I got for you today. Thank you for listening. Good luck on your bets, and let's make some money.